Good evening. M.M out there, everywhere again. And once again, I have as a special guest the Apostle Lynroy Scantlebury. He who ran in the last two general elections. Scantlebury, welcome you once again. How are you doing?
I'm doing very good. Thank you very much, Mr. Morris.
Fine. Now, I'm going to get right off the bat because I'm going to fire a shot right across the bow of Colin Jordan. Now, I saw him in the Nation newspaper, The Advocate, one of them, talking about productivity. What I would like Mr. Jordan to do is to go to Nikki Beach, not for a free meal, but as the Minister of Labour and the representative for St.Peter, and find out why there are not even 5 people from St.Peter and from 6 Men's, and not even 10 from St.Peter working at Nikki Beach. I think that's a disgraceful situation. And one of my subscribers also brought this to my attention, that last week there was letters of administration being taken out on 3 parcels of land in 6 Men's. The claimant for the application, the address of that office is Spring Hall. The offices of Jada, the owners of Port Ferdinand, and possibly part owners of Nikki Beach. What do you have to say about that?
Well, this is a pretty unfortunate situation, but I've always said that the people of 6 Men's have been dealt a raw deal. That situation has been going on for close to 30 years. I think it's time that some level of governmental involvement comes in, and the people in 6 Men's are allowed to find out exactly what can be done to better their position here in St.Peter. I think, again, there are many individuals who've been living there for mostly all their lives. Some of their children have actually come and actually built houses there on that property right now, and I think it's time that we do something to alleviate the issue and the worry that many of those folks in 6 Men's have in regards to the land that they're living on.
It is a very disturbing situation because, you see, letters of administration are placed in the classified ads in very sneaky positions. The average guy don't read those things, you know.
Of course not.
Indeed, the people in 6 Men's, 1 out of 10, probably, 9 out of 10 probably read the classified ads and read about those things. So that's a form of deception.
Yes, it is.
As far as I'm concerned, that is deception. Because when these things are in the newspaper for a while and there's no reply or no challenge, it goes straight through.
Yes.
So that's a form of deception. But M.M Out There is here to expose all deception, especially in this case. So I want Mr. Jordan. In fact, the people in 6 Men's haven't seen Mr. Jordan since elections, you know.
Well, that's another unfortunate situation.
Right? So I want him to go to Nikki Beach and check that out and get back to me. Of course, I know that you know where I am. So now, to you, the Apostle. You know, I followed your campaign very intensely.
Yes, sir.
In the last general elections. You mentioned a part there about hospital service. And I know an ambulance service. I know that when I was growing up, we had the United States Naval Base, which was closed down by the Barbados Labour Party in 1976, putting a lot of people out of jobs. And if there was an accident or something, they would send, they had an ambulances down there. Even if there was a fire, they had fire engines. And both of these vehicles, this equipment was superior to the ones in Barbados. I can tell you that. And talking about that, only last night, a guy got killed right over there, motorcycle accident right on the highway right there in 6 Men's.
On here was
above the playing field, right? And the ambulance came, I think, all the way from Bridgetown, right? But I noticed that in your campaign, you were mentioning about having ambulances at strategic points in St. Peter. Could you enlighten us about that?
Well, yes, and part of our package for our developmental plan for St. Peter includes a 24-hour ambulance service that is stationed in St. Peter. And this is to facilitate not just individuals' emergency situations in St. Peter, but also St. Andrew, St. Lucie, parts of St. James, so that we don't have to depend on, as you said, an ambulance coming from St. Michael to St. Peter to go back to St. Michael. That's already putting a very dangerous situation and possibly a life-threatening situation in a worse condition. So part of our plan going forward was to work with businesses, and of course I don't want to give out too much of what we plan for St. Peter, but I think the people of St. Peter, with the fact that we have the only parish with two marinas, we have several high-end properties here in the island of Barbados. To one point, we have the most expensive property in St. Peter. But I think that our people, the people of St. Peter, deserve to be treated better. We've seen the closure of the St. Joseph Hospital, which to my knowledge was a fantastic facility. It lifted much of the burden that is being placed on the QEH. But we've seen the demise of the St. Joseph Hospital. So I think it's very important going forward that our health care services are at optimal level, especially for our parish like St. Peter.
Okay, well, you touched on the St. Joseph Hospital. I happen to, did it play a pivotal part in health service environment?
Oh, of course it did. Of course it did. I remember as a little boy when my grandfather was there, the nuns from the convent there in Ashton Hall. The facilities there were, immaculate. I think the service also was very prompt and timely and very, very efficient. And I think it played a vital role in reassuring our citizens, especially here in the north of the island, that there is a place, in case there is an emergency, there's somewhere close by where you can go to have the type of medical treatment that you needed.
Now, I had an uncle who used to work there in security, as a watchman. We call it a watchman. And so I basically had the run of the place.
Okay.
And that was a fantastic institution. They used to have an annual fair. I used to get in free. Right? Yeah. Me and my friends used to get in free. Through my uncle, And the nuns were very nice.
Yes.
And as I said, they had the run of the place. So I know that place is magnificent. And state-of-the-art equipment and everything. Do you know why it was closed?
Well, today I really don't know why, but of course, in the fullness of the reason why it was closed, but I know that there was a lot of political involvement within the closure of the St. Joseph Hospital. There was much political involvement where it was concerned. So I've heard from, poor administration. I've heard of, the fact that there was no longer enough money in terms of governmental budgetary status to maintain the St. Joseph Hospital. I've heard a number of different reasons but over the years we've seen things happen there that showed us that there was a lot of very, very deep political involvement in what was happening that brought about the closure of it.
Brought about the closure. Okay. Now, it still doesn't tell me why it was closed. You give an explanation, but I'm still in the dark. Why it was closed? Okay. So let's say political intrigue.
Well, we'll have to say that because for a facility that offers that type of service to the north of the island, to actually close it and then to not have anything done to have it reopen, it says a lot about the mentality, the consciousness that goes into how political parties feel about people.
But not only that same guy that died last night, I'm not aware of the entire situation, but if a hospital was right there, he could have gone there. Instead of having to lay in the street till an ambulance comes from probably St. Philip or wherever, and by the time they got there, he's probably dead.
Well, again, this is what I've been saying. One of the things that governmentally we need to do is to make sure that our people have the understanding that we care about them.
Yes. Talking about that, the QEH. Now, the head of the QEH is not a Barbadian.
Okay.
I have a very good friend, he's dead now, dead about 2 years, called Bob. A bodybuilder, you know, very famous guy in Spikestown. Well known and respected. He once brought to my attention that the head of the QEH is not a Barbadian. He could never have the kind of feeling and caring for the health of Barbadians because he's not a Barbadian.
That's a good point.
Right? He's not a Barbadian. He's just there to be paid. And I cannot see why this guy who is not a Barbadian heads such a vital institution.
Okay.
Right? He could never have the care, the feeling, the sympathy for the health of Barbadians. He has care and sympathy for his paycheck at the end of the month. What do you think about that?
Well, again, one of the things that I will add to our conversation is that, again, governments must begin to show people that they care. Not just during an election, but after the election, we must show our people that we are concerned about their well-being. We are concerned about their health. We are concerned about them economically. We are also concerned about giving them the type of fighting chance for the future that's necessary to help them achieve the goals in life that they want to achieve, as well for themselves and their children.
Now, the United States Naval Base was closed down with the Barbados Labour Party, as I said before, in 1976. Put in lots of Barbadians from the north. Many Barbadians made their name from the wages that they got from the United States Naval Base. Quite unlike Nikki Beach, which is of no benefit at all to any of the locals in the north. I can't get this thing. People, we are so timid about these things, right? There should be people protesting outside Nikki Beach every day with placards.
I'll tell you this, that whole scenario took place obviously when I was quite a little boy. But there was a gentleman who lived just a stone's throw away from where I grew up, who was actually a chef over there. He was actually the chef over at the
I knew a guy who was a pastor like you. He used to work in the kitchen over there.
Okay.
Right? He was like probably my big brother. My grandmother raised him actually,
Okay.
and he was the chef over there. Right? I'm not going to call his name, but you know he did well.
Yes.
He did well over there, and you know I'm still puzzled by that, but. As I always say, when I'm talking to this guy, time to run so short. Because my production team is telling me that it's time to take the first break. So, Apostle, we're going to take a short break. And we'll be back.
Thank you so much.
Okay?
Appreciate it.
So let's take a break and I'll see you later.